It is July 26, 2018. We're here at 1456 Vista, Claridad in San Diego, California, 92037. We're going to go ahead and inspect the sewer pipes here for the house. And right here, under the little bushes, we have our two cleanouts for the main sewer line. The one closer to the building here sweeps away from, so we're going to go ahead and start with that one. This is a 3-inch ABS cleanout pipe. We're now inside the main sewer and we're leaving the house right by the foundation wall headed towards the street. It is all plastic pipe still. Here we have a turn on the line. Still all plastic ABS pipe. Okay, here we have a area, as you can see, that is holding a lot of water, as if almost the line is completely blocked, or the pipe itself has what we call a sag or a belly, so that the pipe that we're in is headed downhill like it's required, and at some point it might be headed uphill, and it creates a little bow effect, and that can trap and hold water. So we're going to go ahead and try to push our camera through this and see what the problem is with this line right here. So again, this should not be like this because code is required to have the pipe at 1/4 inch of slope for every foot it travels. Okay, you can see right there we have some roots intruding right after this little sag or belly to the line. I'm going to wash our camera off here. So you can see the roots that are growing in, and it looks like they're growing in from a T-junction. So it looks like this is actually the property line cleanout. We'll have to look and see if this is exposed. So right before this horizontal line gets to this T-junction, we have this pipe holding all this water. So we're right at about a little over 45 feet there. We're going to pull back on the line, double check how long of a sag or belly this pipe has in it. So you can see right there, right about a 5-foot section. So this can lead to stoppages in the line because things won't drain out properly. You can see there's a lot of grease and food, little particulate kind of floating in there. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video for a second where these roots are, which is also again at this T-junction where this horizontal pipe is going to make a change in direction and become vertical. Okay, so we've located this buried cleanout and where the roots are intruding. This is 39 inches deep, so it's a little over 3 feet deep. And this is just in front of the sidewalk by about 2 feet. We have it marked with a green stake in the ground, and we wrote the words roots and clean out with a 39-inch depth on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly pull back our camera here for a few feet and just confirm where the beginning of this belly is at, because there is a tree in the front yard and it looks like the line is running either parallel to the sidewalk or it's cutting across the little wooden fence that's there. So we're going to put our camera right here at the very, very start of the belly or sag. We're going to pause the video and locate this. Okay, so we've gone ahead and marked this line. It does run parallel to the sidewalk. It's just past the larger tree that's in the front there. So it could be dug up because it is under the dirt area, not at the sidewalk area, not up the side of the landscaped hill, but some of the big tree roots would probably be in the way and have to be cut out quite heavily to get to this pipe. We'll move our camera down once we're done with inspecting the line to show this. So this 4-foot long section of pipe is, again, you can see all completely underwater. So we cannot guarantee how often this would clog or be an issue if it was not repaired. It is plastic smooth pipe that helps a little bit to help stuff move through it. Again, the root intrusion right there is growing in from the T-junction here at the cleanout that's buried at this depth. So the roots could be maintained depending on how the pipe is as far as its access. This has to be dug up and brought to surface and then can be cleaned out, and then also possibly treated with a foaming chemical from the inside of the line if it's not going to be dug up, just like the sagger belly may or may not be dug up. So we're going to try to make this turn on the line here. This is a straight vertical turn. So we're going to see if this camera can maneuver through this. We've kind of lost our view a little bit, but we're hanging on a vertical pipe and we've got some debris hanging off it as well that we had to pass through. So you can see it looks like right there we're coming up to another turn on the line. We've got some water hanging off the end of our camera. And it looks like it's transitioning to clay pipe. So right when we kind of bounce out of this, it looks like we have a small little area that's holding water at this bottom of this vertical pipe where it transitions back to horizontal. And when our camera kind of bounces through the images there just a little bit, so that's the 90-degree turn already. And when the water kind of moves out of the way, we can see just for a split second we could see that there was an edge or a lip, and that's to clay pipe. That's the orange reddish color. So this lip's going to hold up our camera from trying to get through this area. Got some debris on the camera lens there. Came back up. So there's two quick 90s in a row. The clean out T right here, and then once we go down across that, the vertical pipe that we're looking down right now, you can see the droplets of water coming off the face of the camera. It immediately will turn again and become horizontal, and unfortunately there's a small lip there, the alignment of the pipe, that's not allowing us to make that last turn. So the clean out T-junction, again, which we marked, which also below ground has the roots intruding, will need to be exposed, and then when that is cleaned up, the rest of the line could be inspected across that clay line out to the middle of the street or wherever it is that's dumping into the city. In the city of San Diego, it is the homeowner's responsibility to maintain and keep this line clear, even if it does have roots out in the past the sidewalk or under the street. Only if the line is broken or collapsed will the city get involved and do any repairs. Otherwise, it is the homeowner's responsibility. So since it does look like it's clay pipe, typically the clay pipe, it's really rare that it's ever broken or collapsed so heavily. Usually can be easily gotten a lot of root intrusions, but again, we can't verify that right now, and those would still be a maintenance issue if it was in the clay pipe. It's not something you would dig up or repair. We just cannot verify, unfortunately, that. So you can see right there our camera's kind of facing down just a little bit. We'll pause the video and run some water through the line, see if that can help push the camera just a little bit. Okay, so we have water running through two faucets and flushed the toilet. So you can see right there, now that it's cleared off the debris from our camera face, that's the edge of the clay pipe. So again, we see this kind of typically as well, that the clay pipe sometimes doesn't get aligned real well where it meets up with the transitionary pipe, which in this case is plastic ABS. Sometimes it's cast iron. So they're just slightly askew of each other, and that lip, which happens to be on the bottom, is stopping the camera from getting by, because you can see it's a solid wall. Clay pipe is very thick, on its wall diameter, and so because this is misaligned at that right spot on the bottom, it's not allowing our camera to jump up and over that. If the other clean out is exposed, which it needs to be, and or dug up, then there'll be easy access from that point to get through this, because it's just a short distance out. The camera would be able to be maneuvered with string or just sheer power jumped over that, but not at a distance we're out of over 50 feet through all these turns. We can't get their camera to do anything different than this. So there's that little ledge. So plastic to the clay right there. So you can see things are flowing through the line. So the line is functional right now and operating, but we can't get the rest of that inspected. So we're now going to go ahead and pause the video and move our camera to look at the line under the house. Okay, so we now have the camera moved out, and we're going to go from the clean out that's away from the house, and this will sweep back into the house. There's the T-Junction we just came down. There's a little bit of water running through the system here because the kitchen sink on the side that we had water running wasn't draining through real fast on the disposer side. So got a little bit of residual still coming through the line. It's going to take just a few seconds for that to finally stop. But again, this is all newer plastic ABS pipe. Here's a little turn on the line. And where we entered the house, that's right behind the powder bathroom, and on the other side of the powder bathroom, past that wall before you get to the garage, when you're in the house, that is the laundry. And then we have the kitchen at the other side of the house, and then the two full bathrooms are upstairs. So we won't need to look at anything from there. Those are all upstairs and then coming straight down vertically and dump into this pipe that we're in right here. We're checking to make sure this line under the concrete slab is in good condition. We don't see any problems whatsoever. So right here, you can see here's the T-junction or combo junction. So this is where this line is making its last turn here. So you can see it's capped on the one end. They didn't use a 90, they used a T-fitting. So we're not going to be able to steer the camera across, but that's what's going across to then pick up the kitchen drain. And then it's also going to be collecting some of the bathrooms from upstairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave our camera right here at this spot in the line, and we're going to go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to move over to the kitchen drain. Okay, so we moved outside the kitchen. There is a clean out right here. We have a very small camera in case there's a lot of buildup in the line to make it through. So this is a 0.6 inch camera in diameter only. It's not self-leveling. Now we expect the line, of course, to be ABS, so it shouldn't be too bad, but we're still going to use this very small camera in case there is some heavy buildup so we can get through the line. Okay, there's the vertical. We just transitioned into the horizontal line. See, it does look nice and clear, so we don't see a lot of grease or food or buildup right now that's going to require any kind of snaking. Line is nice and open. Looks like we're now in the larger pipe that's catching off the other bathrooms. So the line is nice and clear and open, and we're not finding any sags or bellies on the line here, which is what we really wanted to also double check since we found that out front already. Okay, we've got another hard turn transition right here. Okay, push through that, and there's our other camera right there. So you can see there's the camera head and spring that we left in the line. So we've now intersected with the other portion of the pipe. So we've got everything viewed. So everything under the house is in good condition, doesn't require any repair. Just going to, of course, need occasional drain cleaning as things can get backed up either within the trap or across there. But everything is good inside the house. So we're now going to go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so we moved our camera over to the sidewalk here, and so again, this is the tree right in front of the sidewalk, and we've got the stakes in the ground. What we did, we left some rolled a paper towel here on the top of the bushes so you could actually see what we're referring to, because otherwise you won't get a good visual. So a foot from the tree barely, see that big roll of paper towel right underneath there? That's the start of the sag or the belly we showed on the video. That is a problem. And then the line just simply runs along under all these bushes, under the dirt here, parallel to the sidewalk. And then this next big roll of paper towel we left on top of the bushes, that's the end of that 4-foot long sag or belly. And that ends right at the T-Junction, called the property line, and that's where the T-Junction below ground also has the roots intruding. So we also have a stake marked and that painted on the dirt, and so that also is going to need a repair and or some initial maintenance to take care of that. And then once that's exposed and the initial roots are cleared out, the rest of the line across the sidewalk and out to the street, that clay pipe that we couldn't get through can then be viewed, and it may or may not require a root cleaning if there's any in there. And then a foaming chemical can be done annually or even every 9 to 10 months to keep the roots from growing in if there are some more farther down the line as well. So that concludes the recording for this property.